Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityānanda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavatarakam Tat Prakasham Tatat Shaktim Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Granthira Arambha Kori Mangalacharana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinash Anayasa Sapal Nija Vanchita Purana Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padeyara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta Kahe Krishna Dasa Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisheshunyavadi Paschat Deshatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityānanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Tat Sat. Thank you so much, dear Vaishnavas, for joining. We are reading Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, Advaita chapter 5, entitled The Glories of Sri Nityaānanda Balarāma, almost towards the end of this chapter. So we have a few verses left here. So we'll try to complete those today and tomorrow. Let's get started with text number 226. Se aparadhe tara nahi ka nistar ghora nara kete pade ki koliba ar. Translation and purport by C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. For that offense he cannot be liberated. Rather, he will fall into a terrible, hellish condition. What more should I say? In his Bhakti Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami has stated that those who are actually very serious about devotional service do not differentiate between the form of the Lord made of clay, metal, stone, or wood, and the original form of the Lord. In the material world, a person and his photograph, pictures, or statue are different, but the statue of Lord Krishna and Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are not different because the Lord is absolute. What we call stone, wood, and metal are energies of the Supreme Lord, and energies are never separate from the energetic. As we have several times explained, no one can separate the sunshine energy from the energetic sun. Therefore, material energy may appear separate from the Lord, but transcendental is non-different from the Lord. The Lord can appear anywhere and everywhere because his diverse energies are distributed everywhere like sunshine. We should therefore understand whatever we see to be the energy of the Supreme Lord and should not differentiate between the Lord and his archa, form made from clay, metal, wood, or paint. Even if one has not developed this consciousness, one should accept it theoretically from the instructions of the spiritual master and should worship the Archa Murti or the form of the Supreme Lord in the temple as non-different from the Lord. The Padma Purana specifically mentions that anyone who thinks the form of the Lord in the temple to be made up of wood, stone, or metal is certainly in a hellish condition. Impersonalists are against the worship of the Lord's form in the temple, and there is even a group of people who pass as Hindus. But condemn such worship. Their so-called acceptance of the Vedas has no meaning for all the acharyas. Even the impersonalist acharya, Shankaracharya, have recommended the worship of the transcendental form of the Lord. Impersonalists like Shankaracharya recommend the worship of 5 forms known as Panchopasana, which include Lord Vishnu. Vaishnavas, however, worship the forms of the Lord Vishnu in his varied manifestations, such as Sri Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana, Sita, Ram, and Rukmini Krishna. Mayavadis admit that worship of the Lord's form is required in the beginning, but they think that in the end everything is impersonal. Therefore, since they are ultimately against worship of the Lord's form, Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has described them as offenders. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam has condemned those who think the body to be the self as bhauma igyadhi. Bhauma means earth and igyadhi means worshipper. There are 2 kinds of bhauma igyadhi. Those who worship the land of their birth, such as nationalists, who make many sacrifices for the motherland, and those who condemn the worship of the form of the Lord. One should not worship the planet Earth or land of his birth, nor should one condemn the form of the Lord, which is manifested in metal or wood for our facility. Material things are also the energy of the Supreme Lord. Hare Kṛṣṇa. So this whole purport, which is quite detailed, is all about deity worship, right? Ijja means one of the synonymous to Archa Vigraha, Puja, Ijja. The whole point is that one should not consider the deity to be ordinary metal, stone, wood, clay, paper. Deity may be made up of 8 materials. And thinking, oh, it's just some metal, just some clay, just some wood. That's basically multiple things are mentioned. That person is an offender, that person will go to hell, that person is Prabhupada uses multiple words, is condemned, right? So bhauma ijyadhi, who is basically not worshipping the deity. Now Prabhupada also gives examples of Mayavadis. The Mayavadis may say, okay, you can do deity worship, but eventually the goal is to transcend that. That's not the goal. That's not accepted. If that would have been the case, then why would our great acharyas like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, etc. do deity worship, right? Sanatana Goswami is doing deity worship, Rupa Goswami, even all these, Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Loknath Goswami, everyone, and we go to these temples in Vrindavan, we see these were their worshipable deities. Why? Even now in ISKCON, so many sannyasis have so many deities they carry along, and they worship them. So it's not that deity worship is for beginners only, it's for everyone. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana bhāgavata-sevayā Mathuravasa Shri Murtira Shraddhaya Sevana Sakala Sadhana Shreshtai Panchanga Krishna Prema Janmai Panchera Alpa Sangha. These 5 limbs of bhakti are the most important. Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, Nama Kirtana, chanting the holy names, doing kirtan, doing japa, bhāgavata-sevayā, reading, hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, etc. Then Mathuravasa, residing in a holy place, like Vrindavan, Mathura, Mayapur, or trying to make, or any ISKCON temple, actually, or trying to make our home holy place by regularly doing these activities. And most important, one of the main things, Shri Murtira Seva, Śrīmurtira-seva, Shraddhaya-sevana. So these are the 5 main limbs. Very, very important. And one should never, even if one, Prabhupada is saying, even if one, does not have that realization that Krishna is non-different from the deity, but at least theoretically one should accept, right? Many things in life we theoretically, we may not fully understand the science behind, but it's okay in the beginning. It's okay. And if we keep doing it, then our love, faith, devotion towards the deity will grow. So Prabhupada gives the example of a person and his picture or her picture are not the same, right? If someone cuts the picture, it's just a picture, right? I mean, the person may feel a little bad, he don't cut my picture and it's not good, but ultimately it's not same as cutting him, right? Right? No one, then that person will shout, like, even if it's like a small finger line cut, right? Hairline cut, but it's not the same for deities, because Prabhupada gives energetic are the same in one way. So everything is energy. The elements, earth, water, fire, air, bhumi, rapo, nalo, vayu, kham, mano, buddhi, re, which ahankariti, amme, bhinna, prakriti, ashtada. These are the elements of the Supreme Lord. Nothing is separate from Him. We need to develop the eyes to see everything in connection to Krishna. So someone said, why didn't you go to temple if God is everywhere? Right? It's a commonly asked question. So if God is everywhere, then He's in the temple also. What's wrong in worshipping the Supreme Lord in the temple? Right? The whole point is, yes, God is everywhere. There's no doubt in that. But how many of us are able to see God everywhere? How many of us, when we pick our cell phone, we see God, or we pick the car key, we see God, or we pick our shoe, we see God, or we pick our pencil, we see God? Not everyone is, it's pure Vaishnavas can see that. But at least when we go to the temple in front of the Archa Vigra, we can see God face to face. We can talk to Him. We can share our joys and sorrows. We feel happy, right? So it's like deities are the mercy of the Lord, so that we can channelize and reciprocate our loving devotional service. The deities are basically the mercy of the Lord, which are not different from Him. So basically, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that if anyone, this goes back to the previous verse, for anyone who considers Him as a statue, he cannot be liberated. He will fall down in the hellish condition. What more can I say? Connecting to the previous verse. Any more comments, thoughts?
Prabhuji, another analogy can be given when they ask that Lord is everywhere, why you need to go to the temple? So also there's oxygen everywhere, but when people sick, why they go to the hospital and they get oxygen by the nasal cannula or other forms? Because the same thing, that where we get better treatment, and that helps us. And second comment, Prabhuji, so I know this is a Sanatana Dharma. It has been there million years back, going to the Satya Yuga, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yuga. But the problem is that other religions, major religions in this world, they accept our Sanatana Dharma. They don't believe in God's form, all others. So it happened because they are the religions only for Kali Yuga. So that's why those religions only comes in Kali Yuga, and they are not accepting the Sanatana Dharma's ideology.
Yeah, all these religions, Christianity, Islam, and others, they came at a certain time, 500 years back or 2000 years back. Buddhism came about 2500 years back. It's all mentioned nicely. Uh, so, so yes, and all of these, if you really go back, are not sharing the complete science of the Supreme. And it's mentioned, very, very clearly mentioned in those books as itself. Like Jesus Christ says, I have a lot more to say, but you don't have ears to hear. He says that. But Krishna says, now the knowledge I'm giving you is the Supreme, right? Because Arjuna was a qualified recipient. Little did Jesus Christ preach, but he was crucified. Imagine the Guru itself is crucified by by those whom he was preaching to. So you can imagine even in other books it's mentioned, to not have illicit affairs with a mother and sister. So imagine the audience he was preaching to. But in Bhagavad there is no, because there is a very high level body soul, right? So yes, we can certainly connect in that way. And we know there is reference of deity worship, like this deity in Sri Rangam is said to be worshipped by Brahma. So Brahma was also worshipping this Sri Rangam deity. This comes from actually Lord Brahma. There are multiple very, very ancient temples. This Jagannath Puri also, we know how this in 50 years of Brahma's life, Lord Jagannath is worshipped by the Shabaras, and then now he's worshipped in the Daru Brahman, the wooden form. So it's very, very, I mean, understanding Brahma's lifetime itself is beyond any other religion, right? No religion talks about trillions of years, millions of years, they go in hundreds and thousands, right? But here we talk about Brahma's life, which is trillions of years. And he was worshipping deity. He was worshipping deity. There are deities in the Kula deities. Ramanujacharya worshipping deities. Of course, he is pretty recent, but the point is, yes, certainly it goes all the way back, all the way back to yugas and yugas and yugas and days and years of Brahma. So basically, it's eternal. It's not something new has been started by someone. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Very nice point. Okay, I think we can move to the next verse, to 27. Is Mataji want to read?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, मैं पढ़ूं प्रभु जी?
Yes, please.
हे ने ये गोविंद प्रभु पाइनो यहाँ है ते, ताहार चरण कृपा पारे पढ़ते। मैं हिंदी में पढ़ दूं प्रभु जी, अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम ना तो, या इंग्लिश?
Yeah, you have the book? Yeah.
मैंने टैब में डाउनलोड कर रखा है
Okay,
प्रभु जी।
perfect, please.
अतएव ऐसा कौन है जो उनके नित्यानंद के उन चरणों की कृपा का वर्णन कर सके, जिनसे मैंने इस भगवान गोविंद की शरण प्राप्त की है। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Oh, thank you.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Dear Lord, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is again and again feeling blessed about his good fortune. Painu yaha hoite, yaha hoite. It is only by the Charana Kripa Of whom? Of Lord Nityaānanda.
Nityananda.
That I have attained the mercy of Govinda. Who can describe the mercy of lotus feet of him, Lord Nityaānanda, by him who have attained the mercy of Govinda? So this whole story, if we remember, is basically talking about how merciful Lord Nityaānanda is. If we go back about 50 verses back, we're talking about Lord Nityaānanda's mercy is ananta and apar. And then we started this whole discussion. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said, hey, I'll give you an example. And what was that example? Muniketa and Ramdas story. So that's from that story, this whole journey of Vrindavan starts. And then he is getting all these divine ecstasies, darshans, and seeing that, meditating upon all the beautiful forms of Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda, etc. So Radha Govinda, when he is getting the shelter, he is again thinking about the mercy of Guru or Nityananda. So again and again, the point is that one should never forget the mercy of teachers, spiritual masters. Whatever we are is by the mercy of Guru. Srila Prabhupada never forgot the mercy of the Guru. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur never forgot the mercy of Guru. A disciple should never forget the mercy of the Guru. It is mentioned in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, if one thinks that one can repay the credit to the Guru, one is basically making oneself a laughing stock. Basically, it's a joke, like a joker, right? What a big joke. Oh, you think you can repay the what Guru has done to you? That's the biggest joke in spiritual circle. Because we can never ever repay the kindness, the blessings, the mercy of the Guru. All we can do is to always be grateful and keep sharing what we have received. That's the biggest way to reciprocate. Hare Krishna. Yes, Vipul, you want to?
Yeah, Prabhuji, one question. That definitely the mercy of Guru, but sometimes Guru has thousands devotees, and some devotees live far, probably in the lifetime 1-2 times met the Guru. They're doing the sadhana, but how the mercy comes through? Probably that Guru sometimes don't know very well that devotee. So this is automatically come because as they're taking shelter under Guru, the mercy will automatically come.
We'll come to the proportion we are trying to understand the heart of the Guru, and to the degree we are trying to follow the instructions of the Guru. So understanding what Guru wants, and to the degree we are sincerely trying to follow. It's not by physical proximity. Someone could be, it's Prabhupada said, one disciple said, hey Prabhupada, I always want to be close to you. Yes, Prabhupada, look at this mosquito, he's quite close to me, but he's causing me disturbance. So we may be physically close, but what's the use of physical proximity like the mosquito and causing disturbance? I was hearing some glorification of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. One disciple was sharing that Maharaj told him, a very senior devotee, of course, the devotee himself was 65 years or plus 70 years. I forgot the name. And Maharaj's was 78th Vyas Puja was just few days back, and after the Dandotsav, 10 days back approximately. So he's sharing, 70-year-old devotee, says to give some context, he's sharing. Of course, he's very dear to Maharaj, one of the early disciples, because he was 70-year-old in preaching and active, involves 30 plus or 40 years or something like that. And he one time went to see Maharaj, and thought that, Maharaj may, like, okay, he's like one of the few, at that time, he was one of the few disciples and one of, leading disciples and quite prominent. He went to meet Maharaj just like that. Maharaj said, okay, you have come. What's the purpose of your visit? He said, Maharaj, I just came to take your darshan and to get your blessings. And Maharaj said, I have given you a service to preach. You keep doing that service. If I need you, I'll call you. And then, now, the story does not end there. He said, after 30 years now, today, I received the call of Maharaj. You please come today. And I came today. So I was like, wow, this means to be a disciple. Guru said something like, look at Janivas Prabhu, Pankajangri Prabhu. Whole life, Mayapur, Guru said, you stay there and you serve there. That's what is real mercy. Well, they could not, they travel with Prabhupada. Yes, they could have traveled, But to really follow the mercy of Guru is, and Guru will come. Like I was reading a story of Loknath Goswami. Loknath Goswami was told, hey, you go to Vrindavan, I will come there. Lord Chaitanya told him. But Lord Chaitanya, and then he took sannyas and all that. Loknath Goswami was told, you go to Vrindavan even before I take sannyas because you won't be able to tolerate. And, so he was told, and that time there was no communication, no email, no Gmail, no Facebook, no nothing, WhatsApp and all this stuff. And traveling, no car, no bus, no air ticket and all that, just walking. So going like, Jagannath Puri, Vrindavan, it's no easy thing, like months. South India to Vrindavan, it's like, months and months. So finally, Lord Chaitanya didn't come long time and he was in separation. Loknath Goswami was in separation. And finally started towards going to South India. He got to know that Lord Chaitanya is in South India. And then he goes to South India, he tries. And then suddenly he hears the news. He's in Jagannath Puri. Oh, he goes to Jagannath Puri, changes a detour, goes to Jagannath Puri. By the time he reaches there, he said, oh, Lord has went to Vrindavan. Oh, no. He now rushes, tries to goes to Vrindavan and gets to know Lord has left for Varanasi. And now he's sleeping, taking some rest. And next day his plan is, I'll go to Varanasi. Lord came in his dream. Please stay here. I will come again. So the point is, Krishna will come, Guru will come if we are sincerely following their instructions. So physical proxy, of course, whenever we get chance, we should, we should take instructions, we should meet, we should try to understand how we will please them. But there are a lot of Prabhupada disciples who saw multiple times Prabhupada. But after Prabhupada left, they also left the ISKCON mission, ISKCON society. On the contrary, there are disciples like His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj who have never practically seen Prabhupada in their lifetime, but they are sincerely serving and spreading the Krishna conscious mission. And there are many, many others also who have rarely seen or just one or two instances, but they are continuing Prabhupada's mission very boldly. So real stuff is not in physical proximity. It's in understanding the heart of the Guru. And that we do through hearing his katha, Vani, his Vani, right? Whenever and these days, things are a little even easier. Because at the time of Prabhupada, just think about, they did not have access to Prabhupada's tapes and all that. Like if someone is in New York and Prabhupada is giving class in LA, there was no way for them to hear that LA class. Correct? But we are, blessed in that way. No matter Guru is in India, America, Europe, Australia, wherever he goes, Okay, we can't go with him. That's fine. Understandable, not practical, not wanted, not required. That's okay. Even if we get darshan once, twice a year, or once in few years, that's okay. But still, he is giving classes practically every day. And he has given thousands and thousands of classes in this tenure, 30, 40, 50 years. If we hear one a day, we will have less number of days. Like the number of days we have left in this world, the Guru has given more classes than that. Right? Any Maharaj you see, he has thousands and thousands of hours of Katha. And of course, Prabhupada Katha, there are thousands and thousands of hours. And of course, his books. But there is so much to read, hear, and follow. And under the guidance of the Shiksha Gurus, we continue pursuing the mission of Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada. This will please Guru, this will please Prabhupada, this will please Krishna, this will please everyone. Does that help, Prabhu?
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you for reminding again.
Thank you, Prabhu. You're very sincere. I know, I mean, it's okay. I mean, see, I'm not like pushing down the desire to meet Guru. See, we all have that desire. We all should have that desire. We all should try our best. But keeping the physical, parameters in mind. But also like, one more desire, one name coming to my mind. One time, someone said, Prabhupada disciple said that I want to, Prabhupada, I will always want to be under your lotus feet. Prabhupada, is not possible because I keep traveling. One more said, Prabhupada, I just want to fall at your feet. I was doing pranam. Prabhupada said, get up and do something. So the Guru will be more happy when they get to see, oh, my disciple is so nicely sharing Krishna consciousness in a foreign country where there are so many challenges, right? First of all, he or she is maintaining their Krishna con. That's the first joy to the Guru. कि गुरु के कंधों से बोझा हल्का हो जाता है जब वो देखते हैं कि मेरा डिसाइपल जैसे माँ बाप के कंधों से बोझा कब हल्का होता है जब वो देखते हैं कि मेरा बच्चा गलत राह पे नहीं है और ही इज लाइक सेल्फ mature enough to make right choices in life, rather than me spoon feeding, hey, why are you doing this, hey, why are you watching video games all the time, why are you playing with video games all the time. Then it'll be a burden, because the moment the parent goes, then he'll again go to that crap. But when the parent sees that my child is independently making mature decisions, then the parents give him more freedom. Wow, I'm very happy with your progress, right? All of your parents would acknowledge that, right? So that's the joy of the parents, to see that my child now is mature to make right decisions in life, and he will not go in the wrong path. And just by seeing that, parents are happy, is it not? So same, spiritual master is our Pita, is our eternal Father. So the first thing he is happy is if the disciple, if the child is following the path of bhakti sincerely, himself or herself. That means following the vows of chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 regulative principles, not causing havoc in the society, not, no criticism, no fault finding, chanting sincerely, following 4 regulative principles, doing some service in the community. That's like the number one happiness of the Guru. Okay, like the first check is that, which is like the bare minimum expected, but unfortunately Many even don't do that. And they become a burden on the Guru's shoulder. They become burden. If the child who is always doing wrong things and wrong company and doing, taking drugs and taking this and going in wrong company, the parents will always be tense about that child. Is it not? So the disciple who has somehow taken diksha, but very shaky, breaky, very, mood swings and causing, fault finding and writing bad, bogus stuff on the internet, complaining about this, complaining about that, complaining about authority, having fights with other devotees, he is a big burden on the Guru. The Guru must be thinking, why the hell I gave him initiation or gave her initiation, right? So the first thing is to be a good disciple is to reduce the burden. The next thing, if we can take some burden off Guru's shoulder, that's the next step. And Guru Maharaj, you have a lot on your shoulders. Please give me the strength and the blessings so I can take some of that burden. I'm serving in this small community, in this Tampa or in this Faridabad or in this New York or whatever community we are serving in, that take responsibility there. Take some spiritual responsibility, because someone took our responsibility to help us grow in bhakti. If we take responsibility of few devotees, based on our lot of factors, our strength, our time, our family, lot of factors, whether it's one person or 20 or 100, that's number you decide, but that will please. Whenever, we share about any of the little preaching efforts we are doing, I only see joy in the faces of my Shiksha Gurus. Ramya Prabhu is so happy how and when he sees such a big program like now Anuttama Prabhu is coming, he shares with Anuttama Prabhu, they are all very happy. And if they are happy, Guru is happy. If Guru is happy, Krishna is happy. If Krishna is happy, what else is required in life? So these are the few things, and then Guru will be very happy, and then the blessings will pour. Blessings will pour, not how much close we are, like in terms of distance to the Guru. Blessings will pour. Vishishika Prabhu told me this. Blessings will pour to the proportion of we take spiritual responsibility. To that degree, to that proportion, the blessings will pour of Guru, of Prabhupada, because we understand the mood of Prabhupada, the mission. If we are just like a happy-go-lucky devotee, and we say blessings do, blessing do, blessing do, blessing मांगने से नहीं आता. We have to show by our actions, and if we show by our actions, blessings naturally outpour. Prabhupada's blessings will outpour to anyone who takes spiritual responsibility to preach his mission. Prabhupada will be, because this is his mood, who tries to distribute books, who Prabhupada, tries to share this message of bhakti. There are a lot of blessings. His blessings are there. But how much are we doing to first make ourselves qualified and then take spiritual responsibility under proper guidance, not doing things whimsically, discussing with senior Vaishnavas, local community members, and then doing under their guidance. There is a lot. There's a lot to be done. Especially in Western countries. It's like an open field, like so much opportunity is there, so much opportunity is there. And then here the blessings are even more, right? Because when we are in a difficult place, the Guru is like, for example, when the child is near, like, let's say, link it again to the parent-child example. When the child is near and studying in the college, let's say, the parents are taking care. He or she is studying in this college, and he's at home. And the parents give him food, give him some pocket money for the expenses and bills and stuff. But when the child is in a far place, then the parents are thinking more about the child, is it not? Or is my child okay? What kind of support does he need? Because they know he is in a difficult terrain. He is by himself now. Then the parents' mercy or blessings or prayers are even more for that child. So we can take that in this perspective, that whatever situation Krishna has arranged us in, whatever state, city, country, that's the best for us. And we have to try our best to please Guru in this current situation by firstly being a good disciple, and secondly to take some spiritual responsibility to please him. Then unlimited blessings will pour. Hare Krishna. Sorry if I overspoke or no.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Is it okay, Vipul Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhuji, very nice. Thank you for the
Krishna.
again.
It's 8:50 almost. Any comments, thoughts, questions before we pause? So we'll have, maybe tomorrow we'll be able to complete this section. Or day after, we'll see. But any other comments, thoughts before we pause for today?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Hare Bol.
जैसा आपने गुरु की महिमा के विषय में बताया, तो एक अनुभव तो ये रहता है कि हम जब तक हमें दीक्षा नहीं मिलती, हम चैंटिंग करते हैं, सब साधना भक्ति भी करते हैं, पर दीक्षा लेने के बाद गुरु से हमें शक्ति भी मिलती है और हमें बहुत हमारी भक्ति में दृढ़ता भी बहुत आ जाती है। ये तो मतलब एक अनुभव है बिल्कुल। और गुरु महाराज जी, स्पेशली हिज होलीनेस गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज जी का जो अनुभव एक मैंने देखा कि हम चाहे कितना भी आर्टिफिशियली शो कर लें कि हम ऐसे भक्ति कर रहे हैं, साधना कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उनके सामने बिल्कुल ट्रांसपेरेंट है हम। वो हमें बिल्कुल हमारे विषय में सब कुछ जानते हैं और उस तरीके से वो हमें मार्गदर्शन भी करते हैं। हमें चाहे वो एक शब्द में ही बोले, लेकिन वो एक शब्द ही हमारे लिए बहुत होता है जो हमारे जीवन को टर्न कर देता है बिल्कुल।
बहुत अच्छा बताया आपने, थैंक यू। और ये तो है कि जब भी हम बुक खोलते हैं, गुरु महाराज जी का प्रवचन सुनते हैं, जो भी हमारे मन में डाउट है, क्वेश्चन है, एम्बिग्यूटी है, इट विल बी आंसर्ड प्रभुपाद्स बुक्स के थ्रू, प्रभुपाद वाणी के थ्रू, गुरु वाणी के थ्रू, या वैष्णव वाणी के थ्रू, it will be answered. Or even sometimes through non-devotees, Krishna will answer. So we should take that as also mercy of Guru, that Guru sent this person to teach me some lesson. So he is there to guide me. I just have to see his divine hand. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice said. Very nicely said. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta ki jai, Śrī Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Mahāshaya ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.